It's a very low barrier to get into the Gronk Squad.
That's crazy!
We've committed to do the Daily Talk Show for 10 years.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
Put it in the calendar.
That one in.
I just like to check the temperature in the room.
I told you my squeegee story.
It is outrageous.
Come on, let's go. It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 1003.
What is happening? What is going on? Happy Thursday.
We missed yesterday.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we haven't really done that.
Never missed. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I just took a big gulp of my vitamin C drink.
How is it?
It's great.
Yeah, we've all, the whole office has been, we're not sick, we're all working, but there is an exhaustion.
Yeah.
If you didn't hear the episode where we talked about the ransomware, dealing with all of that, there's been a lot happening. A lot of shoots on.
But, you know, Amy's sick as a dog. She has to cancel her trip to Sydney.
That's
annoying. Poor thing.
When did she make the call?
Made the call to me today. And
so she was going to
tomorrow night.
Who was she seeing?
Her besties. Mm-hmm. All her besties, her mama, which is one of her besties.
And because she's due in 6 weeks, 5 weeks.
32 weeks, so it's like 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay.
But very annoying, pregnant, sick. Like I had to go last night to the chemist and I was like, I'll get you some antiseptic mouthwash, like the rinse gargle for your throat. Mm-hmm. Can't have it. Like these things that I just, because you're not even taking it in. It's the anaesthetic in it that's no good for you. Even like like lozenges, couldn't get.
That's a good segment. What are the surprising things you can't eat whilst pregnant?
Well, there's fish, obviously.
Yeah.
Not
Soft
obviously.
cheeses,
it's not obvious to anybody. Mm-hmm. I hate it when people say obviously. It's like, fuck man. Mm-hmm. I'm not a woman. Don't plan on getting pregnant as a guy.
Yeah.
But it's so mercury in fish, metally fish, can't have. Anyway, Bodie's been sick. Mm-hmm. Amy's sick. My best mate just told me his son has croup. Mm-hmm. There's something in the air, dude, and it's not.
It's croup.
Well, that's in the air. Mm-hmm. But you always want the person to blame, and we don't know that.
Yeah. I don't know who was the person that got everyone sick. Being at the school today filming, we're near the sick bay, and we see the comings and goings of kids.
Lots of sick kids.
Yeah, I just loved seeing one kid. He had 3 friends delivering him to the office because he was sick.
Oh, mate, you got to.
Yeah, and when he walked into the sick bay, he said, "I'm back." was what he said, which I thought was quite fun.
Sick bay for me as a kid, Wesley College. It would have cost my parents at least $250 a day.
Did you need private health insurance to use the facilities?
It was so back in my day, there was beds in sick bay.
Wow.
There's no beds in sick bay anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I would get a full sleep in sick bay. But think about sheets, kids getting in there, having a sleep, then they change over the sheets. That wasn't happening. It was so much more lax. If you think about not saying that the reason we have a pandemic on our hands is because we're so finicky. But back in the day, think about how loose things have been. Mm-hmm. Loose things in society.
Yeah.
I mean, it came with everything along, like racism, sexism was rampant. You think about the whole
racism,
world.
Sexism, and not washing your hands?
No, but just think about this. Food safety requirements for venues. Just fireworks. Just fucking loose.
What do you mean?
Just ability to buy fireworks. The fact that I could go to Chinatown and buy fireworks as a kid.
Mm-hmm. You don't think you could do that now?
The fact that I once went into the city, found a manhole that was open, went down into the subway. Like the thing is, these things are locked down now. Security cameras. Mm-hmm. The point is that it's like you could have probably worked that out, but so many things need to happen. Oh, interesting. Locking the door on planes. Remember, I went to Bali and I sat in the fucking cockpit.
You're going to tell me that they didn't used to lock the door?
Not when they had kids
the cockpit, up. Yeah, sure. They're locking the...
the fucking plane door. It's suction, mate. You need it. It's cabin pressure. But think about going... I don't know if you ever went to Bali, but yes, you did. Yeah. Did you ever get to go up to the front?
Yeah, Daydream Island
and go
Queensland.
in the cockpit?
Yeah. And we'd get crayons and stuff. I don't know if it was Ansett or Qantas, but you would get... It was a really good kit, and I remember specifically smelling the plastic of the stuff that you would get, because you would get all the crayons and the pencils, and it had a smell to it they loved.
And so think about why it was 9/11. They stopped.
Yeah.
Stopped a lot of that stuff, like locking the door of the cockpit. They don't come out. They're very, the protocol.
Yeah.
Things need to happen before big change happens.
You have to knock twice and go on the intercom and do all that sort of thing.
But it is wild. Mm-hmm. It is wild. I mean, has
Bodie been on a plane yet?
He went to New Zealand.
Oh, that's right.
He's been to Sydney. Mm-hmm. But he's already travelled. He went to Mykonos, Santorini, in Mum's tummy.
Yeah. A little different experience.
Little different, but we like to tell him that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He was. But it was a wild time. And so think about security cameras now. Absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
Less naughtiness that you can get up to. Not saying you should get up to naughtiness.
Do you think that because we had like the protein shop down the street broken into, they had security cameras?
Break and enters been happening. Even just around like train stations, train yards, where people do graffiti, like where people can go. People will still do it. Yeah. It's like saying banks will never be robbed again. There's just a new way of doing it digitally. Mm-hmm. Someone inside, but it's not like the old bank robbery. Think about trying to rob a bank.
How would you do it?
Common day.
How would you do it now?
Dude, there's no point. You'll be caught. My point, like I remember going.
If you needed to get a bunch of cash quickly with using any means, what would you do?
Will I get away with it?
If you're smart enough, yeah.
I always think about think about if you had a superpower. I'll get back to your question, but if you what would you do? Like, where would you get the money from if you had to get money? Like, who would it least affect if you did take it? Like robbing a bank.
It's very public.
Yeah.
Bit of trauma involved. You sort of want to do corporate crime, wouldn't you? You'd sort of want to cook the books. You'd want to be a CFO of a company that's somehow, just invoicing themselves or something.
Because you don't want it to affect like the Gronk that steals super from a company or something stupid like that.
What do you mean?
Steal. So we pay super every quarter.
A company. So okay, yeah.
And if you're the CEO and you were like, yeah, the super's been paid.
Yeah, sure.
And somehow you were the only person having correspondence with the ATO, and then all of a sudden, like I know a guy used to come to the gym, did 8 years. 8 years for well, no, I don't think it was 8. He got 8 years, but he did less. But it was like minimum security for fraud. What about that lady from one of the banks?
Yeah.
that literally, I loved it. It's one of my favourite articles in the paper because it went through everything that she'd spent the cash on. I was like, fucking took her family $800,000 hotel holiday to Europe.
Silly.
Good memories. Just a lot of photos, a lot of stuff she would have bought the kids. At that point, where are you telling your kids you're fucking getting all this cash from?
But I was thinking about jail in general.
Were you? What have you done, mate?
I was just thinking about people going to jail, or there was someone that was prosecuted a few weeks ago, and you were talking about how much time they had, and we were talking about all of that sort of stuff. Someone if someone accidentally drives into someone or whatever, it could happen to anyone. But obviously, if you're under the influence or reckless driving,
a guy that killed a grandpa, he was on ice. Got 8 years.
Yeah.
I saw him within the last 6 years. He'd got out.
What did he say?
Oh, dude, I'm sitting at this cafe and he walks past me and I'm just
How do you know all these?
We grew up. He went to another school, like from a good family. Used to punch on with his brother, but he was
Didn't
good.
we all?
And then he walked past me and he's like, yeah, he told me or something like that. And I was like, oh my God.
Did you say that?
No, but I was thinking that. I was like, fuck, that's blah, blah, blah.
And you spoke to him?
I was like, hey,
Did you ask him?
Just a quick one. He walked by, hey, mate, you good? Yeah. That's it. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah, but you just don't want to, like there's all these laws for a reason. But when you start zooming out heaps and thinking about the world and laws and all of that sort of stuff, it's sort of weird, isn't it? It's like thinking about the solar system.
What laws?
Well, just
all
thinking
the
about the
things that are in
whole
place.
the weirdness of it. So the India, I think it's the government or maybe some politicians in India are saying if you try and do some stuff around trying to stop oxygen or fucking around with the supplies at all, you'll get the death penalty.
Holy shit! Well, look at the COVID stuff. The laws that have come out. I was watching a raid on Facebook.
Yeah,
and it was of this woman. She looked like she was in her fucking jammies. Looked like Sunday morning. And
was this from Ballarat?
Yeah.
And
she, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, and they were like, she'd obviously posted something on Facebook that was about sort of an anti-lockdown rally. She probably organised it.
She did it on a Facebook event.
Did she made an event?
Made an event, and then the cops came. But the thing with
we're taking every device in this house. This one, the guy filming, you're not taking my phone. All right, mate, give me your fucking phone. But I've got an ultrasound in an hour. Poor woman's pregnant. I mean, you're pregnant. You're pregnant. You can don't set up a rally. Just chill out.
That's old though. That happened that was probably nearly a year ago now.
But it surfaced.
It's funny talking about the surfacing stuff. What gets shown to me on Instagram Reels?
Oh yeah,
you were telling me this. You were saying, mate, golf isn't going to the moon. It's like you bought a Tesla and now all you see is Teslas.
Yeah.
Because I'm just seeing golf everywhere. So like Bree and I watching Entourage, an old show.
Yeah,
just a random show. There's golf.
I've watched those scenes. I've watched all of Entourage.
So that ghost town, right? So he's in. So we're like, let's watch something other than golf, because I'd been watching golf swing videos, all this sort of stuff. And it's like, let's watch something else. Let's watch the ghost town where the guy is in basically isolation in a ghost town. There's nothing there. It's an old mining town. Halfway through the video, he says, and this reminds me of when I used to play golf as a kid, and then he went on for 15 minutes about golf.
But are you being serious?
I am 100% being serious. There is,
but you don't
there is
know.
a move. There is the needle is moving.
It's fucking not. It's like
the driving range. The driving range is fucking packed.
It's like me saying UFC, like Ultimate Fighting.
I think you're probably right on that too.
Well, it is.
I'm hearing about it more, but is it just because you're around,
or is it that everything we're talking about? It's like we're not going back with golf. We talked about this the other week. What's the sport?
Golf never went.
Snowboarding. Golf has never been.
What do you think is? So maybe things that are having a resurgence.
Rollerblading, done. Was for a long time.
Resurgence?
Roller skating. I mean, they're closing down a roller rink in Melbourne that had been open for 40 years.
But sometimes that can be an indicator.
Closing it down.
Yeah.
Indicator that it's done.
No, an indicator that it's ready to
come back.
I
mean, golf is a game. We talked about this. GB looked it up. Like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Well, what are some examples? So think of fashion-wise.
Flares.
They're back?
No, I'm not saying the back.
Low-cut jeans back?
Oh, yeah. Tummy tops, like the wasted things, all the TikToker kids.
Yeah.
Like dumb haircuts. Mullets are back.
Mullets are back. What else?
But
backwards caps?
Backwards caps. Nah, they're not out. They're gone. They're gone. That's
and
why I do it. Push against the grain. Nah. But you're talking, this is fashion has so many things in it. You're saying sport. You're talking about golf being, for it to be here or like be big, it has to have been
baseball
somewhere.
Cards back. Sorry,
collectibles in general, cards. But it's just because
why?
My mum would get basketball card collectibles when I was a kid. Basketball cards, NBA was ginormous when we were young, and still is, and it's probably bigger than ever. Obviously, there's more attention, it's accessible. Think about all the streaming platforms you can pay for that watch every NBA match, all that shit. But we're at a time where these cards are old. They've had 20 years of Pokemon, and now the people that have kept tight with some of these, boxes of fresh cards, it's coming in. And so it's like someone was saying, so a mate of mine's got a Skyline GTR. It's worth a shitload of money. But
George, can we get a montage of every time Tommy is...
I reckon it's about 2 times.
It's still a funny montage of you telling about your mate with the GTI. Yeah, and it's worth $100,000.
So, mate, it's not to the point. The point is, if someone doesn't buy it this is what someone said to me. There's a chance that if someone doesn't buy it in the next 5-10 years or 5 years, the people that were my age, me and my friend who has this car still, we used to, as kids, go to car yards and look at the Skylines and be like, oh my God, imagine that. Look at the intercooler. Fucking, do you reckon it's got a blow off valve, twin turbo? Like, go over the specs. Fucking look at those rims. Oh, Nismo fucking gear stick. Matching fucking gear stick and steering wheel. The kids that have the nostalgia, the people that actually have money. So the young bloke who's, you know, a baller who's fucking now 35 or 45 and was obsessed with Skylines back then, has the money to buy now because he's worked his ass off, her ass off. But then you get to the point you're like, that's a bit dumb.
Casio G-Shock watches?
Dumb, but back in
a big way.
Yeah, dumb.
Pokemon Go, obviously.
Pokemon coming back in a new format. Yeah. That was huge, but that died. Dumb.
Very quickly, didn't it? That was a real issue. People just walking around. But there was a guy who during lockdown was caught playing Pokemon Go.
In the CBD, he got fined thousands.
Yeah.
What a dickhead.
Yeah. But he was getting all of the Pokemon or whatever that,
dude,
however it works.
The modern day fucking Indiana Jones.
Do you remember Clint's?
No.
Crazy Clint's? No. It was just like a $2 shop sort of thing, but it felt, when I was a kid, it felt huge. They just had so much stuff.
Yo-yos.
Yo-yos. In?
Nah. I mean, if you've just purchased 10,000 through a merchandise company, good on you. I'd love to.
Scrunchies are obviously
yo-yo. Scrunchies?
Yeah.
What are scrunchies?
That you put in your hair.
Always in. Oh, no. I know what you mean. Amy's got a bunch of the sort of the more
big ones.
Retro vibe, the 80s. Mm-hmm. You picture someone in sort of leotards. You know, well, I do. I do. I picture, what's that? Sandy from
Grease,
but like when she's in her like some exercise gear or something, sort of blonde hair up high with the, that's there. Weird how things ebb and flow like that. Fringes, bangs.
Yeah,
you don't hear. Well, no, I don't know. I haven't heard. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of bangs, a lot of talk about bangs.
Studded belts
back in the day.
Did you have a studded belt growing up?
I think my brother did.
What did you wear for pants for the majority of, like, if you were going out, if you were doing anything?
Depends how old I was. Crisscross pants when I was young. There was a crisscross was a brand.
Like a
if you wore crisscross, they're just like fucking jeans, but coloured. It was like mustardy coloured and purple coloured. Nah, thick, like wide leg.
Do you remember corduroy being big?
Was for a little while, yeah, definitely. But then I used to wear parachute pants.
Yeah. So I think that might be a fitness scene thing, maybe.
Nah.
No? What scene? Junkie.
Yeah, junkie / grapher / lad.
Oh, actually, that's
the original lad.
That's a big
grapher
one.
scene. It was like Echo jackets, spray jackets.
Bum bag.
Got into bum bags for a bit.
Yeah.
For a bit.
I mean, when you'd go to Bali, you would have to have a bum bag because the cash, like I just remember Dad, getting, switching Aussie dollars for rupiah or whatever it is. Yeah. And
it's a couple of mil.
Yeah, it's just like stacking, like you're doing a deal
with
someone
rich.
about a laser or whatever. It's like, no. It's like you sort of got one hand on the bum bag.
32 mil, bit much. Give you 28.
Yeah. And the bum bags were big. But no, what I remember being the main types of pants that I wore were actually shorts. They were denim shorts.
You've been out of fashion for years.
Yeah. Denim shorts, like long, not like sort of high, Not sort of
three-quarter shorts.
Nah. Oh yeah, 3/4
like
were big for a bit,
the pockets on the side. They were called cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts. Shorts. I had a lot of cargo shorts. Well, because you could just hold so much stuff in them. I had like.
There's nothing like seeing a guy with too much in his cargo short running.
Yeah.
And it's just,
momentum.
It's fucking gonna spin him. It's just gonna spin him.
The tornado.
I know a guy, that dodgy guy that crossed the road from me wears cargo shorts.
Really?
And he holds his fucking.
Really.
Looks like a purse in his pocket. It's that big.
Yeah,
the belts, the
clampy sort of.
the clampy belts. What were they called? Fuck.
Yeah, they were big. The
buckles or something. Oh, big laces.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, no.
Oh, but that's like shoes with.
I got into big laces.
I never got into Converse shoes just based on the. Are they called Docs?
No, they're Docs. Doc Martens.
What are the Converse ones called?
Cons.
Why is that funny?
Because Docs are their own. Doc Martens. And then you've just gone with the short.
Oh, so cons are just Converse short.
Cons.
Didn't think of that. But
it might be another name for them. Chuck Taylors.
Chucks. Yes.
Chucks.
And
but you could call them cons. Chucks.
So the
Chucks is what you're thinking.
I would, because they were designed for a thinner ankle, and I had quite a fat ankle. And I would I would tear up my ankle like you wouldn't believe, just trying to be cool. And it was just so, because I've got wide feet and the shoe was quite narrow.
Second time I've heard that today.
I know. But it's true. But it would just like my foot would sit over the sole. You know what I mean? Which is not good for the sole in any regard.
Yeah.
But it just felt like I was standing on it wasn't shoes, but I was trying to be fashionable.
There's been a lot of choices I've made to be fashionable, but I didn't feel good in it.
Pete Shepherd, I caught up with him the other day. You know, I've been big on the Crocs, just something to wear. Birkenstocks. Yeah, Birkenstocks
come back in a bunch. I remember a kid that I went to school with, he reckons he used to tell me his parents brought in Birkenstocks to the country.
Really?
Don't know if I believe him now, thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think his parents had a shop that sold them.
Okay.
Maybe one of the first in Melbourne.
Yeah. That's still okay, isn't it?
Yeah. But I remember it was just like, my parents.
Yeah, there's a
lot. Birkenstocks I'm a fan of, but I don't own them. I don't think I'm there.
I think that there would be, I don't know if this is actually a thing, but nostalgia therapy. So rather than going to like a psychologist or a therapist, you use that money to buy shit that you used to have as a kid. Do you like that idea or not?
Nah.
Not like
just
toys.
A sad old guy who's fucking dreaming about the past.
Yeah. It's a bit Michael Jackson, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
I want to build myself a
but the
theme park.
What would it be? So if you had to have a real nostalgic experience, if you're like, you know what, it doesn't do what it does to me. Like nostalgia for me,
building a ramp, like half pipe in the backyard. That's what my dad used to build us quarter pipes and skating and having nostalgic for me would be building a skate park in my backyard and then getting a fresh pair of rollerblade, skateboard, bike, all the trimmings and then just every weekend just skating. I was just at the skate bowl all day.
Fuck, do you know what would be really nostalgic? I'd love to do this if you would do it with me. Pegging on a bike.
Oh, yeah, I'd peg you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like the
dinking. I'd dink you.
Put the pegs. Do you remember screwing on the pegs?
I had pegs.
So we would screw on pegs. And the thing is, if you did too much of a sort of a sharp turn, you would scrape it on the ground.
Yes. Tough. And then, I used to only have pegs on my right-hand side.
And then there was the cardboard that you would gaffer tape to the back wheel. And so when you would ride, it would flick, tick, 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 tick,
tick, tick, tick.
And it would sound great. But man, I loved all that. So even the my bike alarm, I've told this many times on the show. You could do a montage on that, George. It had a code.
His wide foot.
Yeah. It had a code. And so if anyone moved the tire, there would be a big alarm that said stolen bike, stolen bike. And my bike had never been stolen, before I got that alarm. It was getting stolen nearly every day by the neighbours, because it was the funniest thing, because I would be sitting watching Home Improvement, eating some Viennetta ice cream.
Having a fucking milkshake.
Yeah, just being like, James got more than me, just having some sort of blow up. And then you hear stolen, but running outside in your flannelette pajamas to save your bike. It's
put your bike out the back.
Yeah,
you should have just. Your mum wouldn't have liked that wheeling through the house.
Cap guns were great too.
Anyway, happy Thursday.
We're calling it this episode Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday. That's correct. Didn't even think about that before, but now.
It's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
I had something else, but bring it up.
I got to go pick up Bodie.
Okay, right, catch it. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.